Hello everyone, my name is Ms. Disha Udani and today we are going to study Human Resource Management. This subject comes for BCA second year under semester number 3. Okay, so what is Human Resource Management? What are its components? What all comes under human resource and how to manage it? We'll study all this in this subject. Okay, so today's our first topic is Introduction to Human Resource Management. In this we'll study meaning, definition, concept along with nature, scope and importance and function of human resource management. So as the word says human resource management, we can divide it into two parts, human resource and management. Basic meaning, or you can say the simplest meaning of human resource management can be managing the human resources that are in the office or in your workplace. Okay, so according to Lennon, the human resources can be defined as total knowledge, skills, creative abilities, talents, competencies, and aptitudes of an organization's workforce, as well as the values, attitudes, commitments, and beliefs of the individuals involved. So, what does Lennon say? That human resource is not just the man that is working in an organization, but also his talents, creative abilities, competencies, knowledge also. And just not his knowledge or what he can provide to the company, but also his attitude, his values and commitments towards the organization. This is very important when we select a human for our organization. When we select our human beings to work in our organization, it is important to not just see the skills or talents or knowledge, or you can say the quality of work, but also we have to see his values or her values, her attitude or his attitude towards the work and commitment that they offer towards the organization. So let's see what human resource management actually means. The human resource management does mean the management of skills, knowledge, ability, etc. through the development of skills, tapping and utilizing them again and again. So when we recruit a human for working in our organization, we do not just accept that person for what knowledge or what skills that person currently has, but also for what in future they can give to us. Okay, so human resource management, what does it exactly mean? That it is management of the people, all the people that are working in our organization, management of their skills, knowledge, ability, and also developing them. Okay, we do not want to stop at what we have. We have to grow ahead, we have to progress according to the need of the organization. We are going to continue ahead, we are going to give them the additional benefits, additional knowledge, additional skill training programs, so that our people in the organization get adapted to the changing environment and to provide the best to the organization. So let's see the definition of human resource management. Edward Philip says the human management definition as it is planning, organizing, directing and controlling of recruitment, development, compensation, integration, maintenance and separation of human resources to the end that individual, organizational and social objectives are accomplished. So this definition is very wide. So let's split it in little parts. Okay, so what is human resource management? It is not just plan, it is planning, it is organizing, it is directing and controlling. So whatever basic meaning of management is, this all comes under human resource management also, but it particularly applies for human resources. Means what we are going to manage in a person, in our organization when we are an HR manager, would be how we plan about how many human resources we need, how much in compensation we can afford to give them, where and how we'll develop them, where and how we'll give them the training that they need, how much cost will be there for maintaining those human resources, or how can we take utmost utilization of the skills and abilities that the human resource we have in our organization, from the human resource we have in our organization. Okay, so this definition may seem very large or confusing, but it is very simple. Human resource management is just managing the human resources by planning accordingly, by organizing, by directing, by controlling the need and the human resources available and taking out the best out of them. Okay, so next we'll see what is the nature of human resource management. Okay, first is perseverance function. HRM is practiced at all levels of management and applies to all kind of organizations, even to non-profit organizations. So number one thing that we can see of HRM is it is based in every organization. It comes under every place that we see. Let's take an example of Tata company. So that is a huge organization. So there are many human resource managers that time to time, according to the need, take care of the management of human resources. That means exactly to be explained in detail, that we can say that at every branch level, let's say in Mumbai there is XYZ branch, that place there is a human resource. At ABC place in Mumbai there is another human resource manager. So they, according to their organization, according to their office, they take care of their organization's people, of the human resource, of the workforce that they have, so that they can get the best out of there. So it's not just the big companies, even the smallest, tiniest places also have human resource management. Let's take the smallest example if we want to. It will be our households. Let's say our mother, our mom takes care of is a best example for human resource manager, because she doesn't only take care of a family, she makes sure that a maximum output we get out of them. Example, we could say that our mom does not just helps us in our development, in our growth, but also brings people in our lives who can bring the best out of us. Can bring the best out of us, like she puts us in the best school, or we can say she hires a maid so that she can provide time to time attention to us by giving her work to somebody else. So perseverance function means what? HRM is based in every field, everywhere that you go, everywhere you look, there is some kind of human resource management happening right there. You look at our mom, she handles the maids. Look at a shopkeeper handles the salesperson. Look at the wholesaler, he handles all the you can say transporters, or all those people that come under, that work under him. Okay, so next point about the nature of human resource management is it is result oriented. There is some kind of target, so that there is some kind of target that we have to achieve. That is why the human resource management is needed. It aims at achieving organizational objectives through the optimum utilization of human resource. Okay, so there is always an aim, what is to be achieved and how it is to be achieved. So how many people we are going to need, what kind of skills they are going to need, how we'll take the best out of them, is what is the basic result oriented thing that comes under a human resource management. Next is tactful approach. HRM deals with people who are distinct from one another. Thus, the manager needs to apply diverse strategies and tactics at different points of time and in different situations. Tactful approach means basically what? Whenever you say an HR manager, as let's take an example of a hand. Like there is a common saying that not all five fingers of a hand are same. Same like that, whenever an organization comes into existence, whenever there are two or more than two people, their attitudes are going to be different, their belief systems are going to be different. So when a HR manager comes, he has to handle all these people tactfully. Some person are religious, so he'll have to not hurt his religious feelings and tell to him that what things are to be achieved. Let's say someone is just goal oriented, he is given a target, he'll complete it, that's it. Some are emotional people, they tend to take emotions in their work. So every kind of person, when it comes, the HR manager has to deal in their own way. For the person who is ambitious, who just wants to achieve his targets, the HR manager can keep giving him targets and make him more and motivate him to achieve those targets. When a person is emotional, let's take a person who is emotional with his work, he puts a lot of emotions in his work, in lot of efforts in his work, lots of emotional investment, emotional intelligence in his work. At that point of the time, The HR manager can't just keep giving him target after target. He'll have to understand what is his mentality while he's working, where he gets slow, where he gets fast, where he gets very emotional, where he gets very strong, and work accordingly and take out the best whatever he can take out from that human resource to get the maximum output from that person. Okay, so next is people centric. Human resource management is concerned majorly with employees working in an organization. As the name suggests, human resource management, so human resource means what? It is people. So without people there is no human resource management. People are the core, people are the reason why the human resource management exists. Next is integrative action. It focuses on maintaining coordinate relations among the employees at different levels and also addresses employee grievances. So let's focus on maintaining coordinate relations among the employees at different levels. So the main function of HR is not just to hire people, not just to take the best out of them, but also to make sure that the people in the organization coordinate with each other, have good relations with each other, and if there are any problems, if there are any tensions between any employees, he can solve them out, he can discuss with them, and he can find out the way through which there will be harmony in an organization. Okay, next it is continuous process. HRM is an ongoing process of procurement, development and redirection of personnel towards the organizational goals. It cannot be completed in a day, a week or a month. So HRM is continuous till the time there are humans in your organization. HRM exists. It's as simple as that. HRM is an ongoing process. What we want from organization, what is the organization's need, we take that. HR manager takes that, he puts it into the goals. He puts it into the goals of the people, the HR manager, HR's whatever we have available, whatever human personnel we are having in our organization, he puts according to their needs, he puts according to their demand, according to their skills and the knowledge, and he makes sure we get the best out of every person and we achieve the goal. It is continuous process. It is a never ending process till the day organization starts, till the day organization dies. It is a continuous process. Okay, so this is about the nature. So nature is just as simple as management. It is not very difficult. It is people oriented, it is integrative action, it is continuous process, it is pursued function, it is result oriented and tactful approach. So it's not very difficult to understand the nature. Let's go ahead with the scope of human resource management. First one is, it tries to help employees develop their potential fully. So what is the scope of human resource management? Till where the human resource management reaches is, number one, it helps employees to reach their fully potential. Whenever HR manager sees an employee, he knows where the person is good or bad, what are his strong points, what are his weak points. So the HR manager gives him the target, him or her the targets which can be achievable with them, and will use maximum talent, maximum abilities, maximum output from them, so that they can reach to their full potential. Next is, it encourages employees to give their best to the organization. HR manager just doesn't take out from the human resources, but also gives them. How does it give them? By encouraging them, by motivating them, and encouraging them and motivating the organization's human resource makes them to give their best in the organization. Example, we can say that if a person is doing good, you can congratulate that person, you can give a bonus, we can give a raise, we can give a promotion. These are little tricks which encourages employees to give their best, and so that the organization get maximum output from all the employees that it has. Okay, next is, it is all about people at work, both as individuals and groups. So human resource management, when it comes, it is not just about one person at a time. It is one person at a time plus the group that we are working on. Let's take an example of an IT company. So in an IT company, we have different 10 different types of computer engineers, IT engineers. Okay, so when a project comes onto the IT company, so the human resource manager, whoever is there in that organization, he has to know every skill and ability skills that every person of every 10 all the 10 people have, and make sure he takes the best out of all 5 of them, all 10 of them, by making their groups in such a way that they can coordinate well with each other and do their best at the same time individually. So next is, it tries to put people on assigned jobs in order to produce the good results. So here we can understand that it tries to put people on assigned jobs. Whatever jobs that are available in an organization, the HR manager tries to put the best person in the best place, so the organization can have best results, or you can say produce the good results, so that it would be useful for organization's growth. It will be useful for the human resource whichever is available for that person's particular person's growth. Okay, next is, it helps an organization meet its goal in the future by providing for competent and well motivated employees. So this is very important point. Let's understand it deeply. It says that it helps an organization meets its goals in future. What do you mean by goals in future? I need a person right now. I have employed a person right now. So what does it concern with future? It concerns that when we hire a person, we are not just hiring for a day or two. We are going to hire that person for years to go. We want the best we want the best person, so who can work continuously, who can change according to the needs of an organization, who has the ability or skills that would be useful for our organization for years on end. Okay, so in HR, not only the present needs are looked. HR manager not only looks at the present needs but also the future needs, and finds out the best people that are there in the world, and employs them, so that the organization can have the best results by itself. Next is, it tries to build and maintain cordial relations between people working at various levels in the organization. So this is another little tricky, or you can say different point, that it doesn't only help colleagues grow. It doesn't only focus on an individual. It doesn't only focus on the group of colleagues on the same level of hierarchy grow, but also HR manager looks towards that the manager and the subordinate, or the boss and the subordinate, whoever they are, they both also have a good relationship. When they have a good relationship, they are going to make a great team. A great team is formed only because when the persons are highly motivated and when the persons are willing to cooperate. So the HR manager doesn't only motivates a person individually, but also a group of colleagues who are on same hierarchy, and also the people who are on different levels of hierarchy, like a boss and a subordinate. Okay, so next is, it is multidisciplinary activity utilizing knowledge and inputs drawn from psychology, economics, etc. So why is HRM called as multidisciplinary activity? Because we are dealing with human resources over here. We are dealing with actual people and not the material, which is actually a non-living thing. So why is it multidisciplinary? Because when a human being comes, it doesn't come just as a material. We can't just put input and we can't get just output. The person has human mind. He has his mind, he has his emotions, he has his heart, he has his soul. We can say he has his economic needs. So the HR manager has to know what is psychology, basic terms of psychology, basic terms of economics, basic need of a human man or a woman, so that the person can grow, so that his needs are fulfilled, while he gives us the output of whatever whatever need the organization is. Okay, so next we are going to study about the importance of human resource management. So let's start with basic. What is the importance? The first one is fulfill the human resource requirement. As simple as that. Why is HR manager there? To fulfill the need of a human resource. Human resource management fills in the gap between the vacancies in the organization and the suitable candidates for such positions. Example, let's say that our example about Our mom is a human resource manager. How does our mom become a human resource manager? We need a maid to clean our house. So mom knows that what kind of need we have, or how many rooms there are in the house, what kind of cleanliness that is required in the house. So mom is the best HR manager, and she finds the best maid, or the possibly best maid in that area, who can do the things according to their need. Okay, do the needs according to the time of the house, according to the need of the house, according to the budget that is available in the house. Okay, so fulfill of human resource requirement. HR manager fills the gap. He finds who is the best candidate available, and he picks that person so that that person can fulfill the needs of an organization. Next is employee retention. Not just picking, or you can say a recruitment of an human resource is necessary, but also retention of that human resource is necessary. HRM not only functions to acquire the manpower, but also concentrates on maintenance and retention of human capital. What is retention basically? If you ask, retention means basically you have to keep them on hold. Whenever you take a person, when you employ a person, you make sure that the person stays in the organization for as long as they can, so that he or she can provide the best out of themselves to an organization. So HRM not only focuses on recruitment of people, but also on maintenance and retention of that human, so that the organization can grow along with the human resource or a human capital that organization has. Next is enhance the quality of work life. It focuses on continuous enhancement of job facilities, hence improving the quality of employees work life. It focuses on continuous enhancement of job facilities, means HRM is a continuous work which continuously looks forward for how can the quality improve in the work, how can the quality of work life be improved. For example, you can say there's a simple organization, 5 people come over there, they do their work and they go home, and this becomes a little boring. After day they do the same thing. But when a human resource manager is there, he can set up a little coffee break, he can set up a little canteen over in the organization, so that when the person is hungry or when the person is bored, he can go there, have a break, have a nice chit chat with its colleague, and he can get attached to the organization, and that emotional attachment, that sense of satisfaction helps the organization to get the best potential out of that employee. Okay, so to enhance the work life doesn't just mean working in the computer or working on the particular work that is assigned, but also what relates with it, like the sanitization in the organization, like the light facility in the organization, like the electricity, AC, and little things that help you work smoothly, that doesn't create a barrier, that doesn't create a disturbance while working, so that you can work smoothly in one go and you can get the best out of yourself. Okay, so enhancing the quality of work life is also an important work of human resource management. Okay, next is redressing grievance and conflict. HRM addresses the problem among employees or with the management, since it is essential for any organization to resolve its internal conflicts and grievances to ensure a sound and cooperative work environment. So redressing grievances and conflicts, why is this very important work of human resource management? Because if two people are quarreling with each other, or if two people are not agreeing on the same thing, and if this continues for a long while, it will affect the quality of the work that organization is doing. So redressing the grievances, redressing the conflicts that are happening is an important work of HR manager. Whenever two people fight in an organization, why did they fight? What was the reason? How can that be solved? How they can get back to normal? These are the things that a human resource manager has to do, so that the work in the organization goes smoothly, and there would be a cooperative friendly work environment in the organization, which will help the organization have the best results, which will help the employees to give the best out of themselves. Next we'll see Achieving organizational goals. To reach the set objectives and targets on time, it is necessary to direct employees' efforts towards organizational goal. All this is possible only through the practice of human resource management. Achieving organization goals, to achieve anything, any kind of goal, you need a human resource. If the human resource is properly motivated, if the human resource is properly taken care of, then he or she will give the best output from them, that from what they can give, and that will help an organization to achieve its goal. So if you want to achieve anything, if you want to achieve any goal, you have to motivate, you have to encourage a person that is working under the for that goals, and that is the main work of human resource management, to encourage them, to motivate them, so that they can achieve the organization's goal as soon as possible and in the best possible way. Okay, next is long-term existence in the market. As we all know that the employees are the inevitable part of an organization. Therefore, to survive in competition, it is imperative that the organization brings HRM into function. Long-term existence in market. Many great business people have said that the main and very unique asset that any organization can have is the human resource. Where the human resource is best, the organization is the best. If the human resource is happy, the organization will go for a long run. So this is a very important, you can say, the aspect of any company. If the human resource is happy, if the people are happy of the organization, they will give the best output. If they give the best output, the company will achieve its goal very fast and at very good quality level. If it will give the best quality, the customers will be satisfied. If the customers will be satisfied, again circle will keep going. So it is very important for an organization to have a happy human resource. When a human resource is happy, when a human resource is satisfied, they will work for a company with all they can. They will give their best outputs, and that will in turn lead to a long-term existence in a market. Where a human there are many examples in our world, where you can see when a human resource is happy, the company is happy, the company has good shares market capture. If you take a company that doesn't deal good properly with the human resource, their share capital is low, their share in the share market is very low. Take example of Tata company. Tata company is the best company, you could say, is the best example, you could say, where the company looks towards its organization's employees, so it can give the best to its employees. When it gives best to the employees, you can see how long the company is surviving, and how well and what a goodwill that company has acquired. Okay, so next is developing team spirit and feeling of belongingness. It brings together different employees as a team to accomplish the goals of the organization. HRM also makes the employees feel valuable to the organization. So this is another important part of human resource management, of developing team spirit and feeling of belongingness, because HRM deals with human resources, and humans have emotions. Humans need attachments so that they can perform well. Take an example. If you don't like a particular place and you have to go there every day and do some kind of work over there, that person will not be ever satisfied. That person will not give his best. To take the best out of the person, to have a good output from any person, that person needs to have a belongingness. That person needs to feel like they are needed there. The person needs to be felt about that they are useful in an organization. And this feeling of belongingness, this feeling of team spirit, is developed by human resource manager that is in an organization. The human resource manager takes different kind of activities sometimes, or does many activities in which the people come together, in which people do many activities that helps in team spirit, that helps the team bonding, that gives the spirit and feeling of belongingness. For example, there are many trips that go of every company. Every company takes a trip to a particular place with all its employees. They arrange their different kind of games, they arrange their different kind of activities in which their employees do not do the office work, but they play and they know each other personally, which gives them the feeling of belongingness, and that motivates the person to work harder for their organization. Next is employee satisfaction and welfare. HRM works for the welfare, safety and security of an organization. It is majorly concerned about the level of satisfaction driven by an employee from his job. HRM works for welfare, safety and security of an organization. The HR manager, we can say the end target of HR manager is to get the best results out of human resource. So when will the person give the best output from him or herself, is when that person is satisfied, when that person knows that if I work in this organization, there will not be any harm, there will not be any kind of insecurity in kind of monetary needs, emotional needs, financial needs. So an HR manager, his important role is to look behind the welfare and safety and security of the organization's people that work in an organization, of the workforce that works in the organization. It is mainly concerned about the level of satisfaction driven by an employee from his job. When a person is happy with his job, he definitely gives the best out of himself. And when is a person happy from his job? Because when he knows that whatever I am doing work, I am getting well paid for it. Wherever I am doing job, I am safe over there. And in future, when I get retired, for example, there are different kind of pensions or provident funds that the company is collecting for them, which they can use after the retirement, so they are safe for their future life ahead. So when a person is safe, when an employee is satisfied and has security and has safety, he will automatically work for the organization toward the best he can, without any tension or worrying about the future or the current situation he is in. Okay, this was about the importance, and now let's study about the function. Managerial function. The function of human resource management can be divided into two parts. One is managerial functions, and there are many subparts under that. What is managerial functions? Human resource management is an essential at all levels of an organization. The top management is responsible for forming strategies and giving directions for successful applications of such plans. In this process, they perform following functions. First is planning. Firstly, management must be aware of vacant positions or workforce requirement of an organization. Then they need to formulate strategies for meeting the requirements. The basic managerial functions is number one is planning, which means they have to plan about what kind of need our organization has, what kind of human need organization is. Suppose we take it is an IT company. So the IT company needs what? The IT engineers. There is no use of mechanical engineers in their organization. Okay. So in planning, it is very basic step is deciding what organization needs. How many IT engineers it needs, how many accountants it needs, how many lawyers it needs, how many you can say clerks it needs, how many janitors it needs. So this is about the planning step. It is a very first step about knowing what is the requirement of an organization and planning accordingly. Okay. Next is organizing. The manager has to establish a framework for operative functions, bringing together the human resources and physical resources available within the organization. In this part, first part we have decided what we need and how are we going to satisfy our human need. In this second step, we are actually going to start organizing these things. The manager has to establish a framework. Manager decides from where how are we going to get human resources. Example, from internet advertisement, how we can get the human resource. From paper advertisement, how we can get the human resource. From LinkedIn accounts, how you can get the human resource. The how and from where. This framework is to be decided and established here in organizing function. Okay. For the manager has to establish a framework for operative functions, bringing together human resource and physical resource available within the organization. He just doesn't need human resource, but he also needs physical, right? When you can say IT company, he doesn't just need an IT engineer. He will also be needing computers. He will also be needing electricity. He will also be needing the softwares that are required to build an app, or you can say build any kind of tech software that the company is building. So organization means bringing together the resources that we have. Okay. Next is directing. Once the framework is ready, the manager instructs and guides the team to work accordingly to meet the organizational needs. In this, what we can say is, now a human resource is available. Now we have all the platform in which where the human resource has to work. So there is an IT engineer, we have computers, we have proper electricity, we have proper internet connection, we have proper clients. So now next step comes is directing that human resource. So we have to direct that person. We have to tell that we need to create a website for XYZ person. We need to create a software for ABC person. Okay, so this happens when once the framework is ready. The manager instructs and guides the team. He will tell the team how to work, or how much time is available for doing a particular website, or how much money, or how many steps are there going to be there for directing, or for you can say completing the work, or you can say achieving the objective of the organization. Okay, next is controlling. After directing, the controlling is the important part, because when we have good resources, when we have good plan, when we have good direction, we need to make sure that whatever output is coming, it is coming appropriately, it is coming what is expected only, it is not going less beyond. Okay, so in controlling, what it is, the manager predefines the standard for performance and later analyzes the result based on such criteria through the performance appraisal and job analysis. The management has to take corrective measures if necessary. So in controlling, the manager who has pre-decided goals is going to look on what actual results have come, and he compares with the predetermined goals and the actual results, and take necessary measures if they are necessary. Okay, so next kind of function is operative functions. First we saw managerial functions, in which we saw planning, organizing, directing, and controlling. So now is operative functions. Operative functions means what? Operative functions are those which are taken on departmental level or middle level, and mainly about the execution of plans and strategies formulated at managerial level. More about different operative functions, read below. Okay. First is procurement. Acquisition of human resource is primary function of a manager. It involves estimation of personal requirement, recruitment and selection of suitable candidates, the placement and organization of workforce in the right position. So what is difference between managerial and operative functions? Managerial function is what the top management decides. Whenever an organization is formed, what a CEO is deciding, that is top level management. CEO says we need 10 IT managers, we need 3 human resource managers, we need 10 different kind of people. But what is operative functions is actually finding them, actually doing the work. Okay, so in procurement, what it is, estimating how many persons are required. You can say top level management says that we need IT managers, but here we are in middle level management, we are actually looking for how many we can afford, for how many are necessary, what kind of things we need. Okay, so in procurement, the acquisition of human resource is the primary function of manager. It involves estimation of personal requirement, recruitment and selection of suitable candidates, placement and orientation of the workforce in the right position. So finding the right people, putting them in the right place, giving them the best environment you can give, so that can give the best possible results. Okay, next is development. To develop the required skill and talent within the employee, the managers have to use various training techniques. Okay, so development, why is development here written? So whenever we have an employee, that person has certain kind of skills, but according to the market changes, the company changes, according to the market need, the company has to change. So if a person in our organization is not if you can say compatible, or you can say doesn't have almost all those skills that are currently required in an organization, the HR manager plays a vital role over here. What does a HR manager do? He finds what skills that a person is lacking, or a human resource which is working for very long in an organization is lacking, and gives that person the particular training about that thing, so that he can give the best out of himself. Next is compensation. Compensation in any form of remuneration given to the employees instead of their service to the organization should be adequate and fair. The employees are liable to get other benefits such as bonus and incentives. Excuse me. Compensation, what does compensation means? If we look at the term compensation basically means repayment, or whatever. If we buy something, we pay for it, that basically means compensation. So what is exactly compensation? Is form of remuneration. It is you give me service, I'll give you the pay for that. Okay, so compensation means we're not any amount, but actual amount that suits, that is fair, that is adequate for the work that an employee does. If a person is working 10 hours a day and you just pay him a little amount of equal to 3-4 hours a day, then that person won't be satisfied, then that employee won't be satisfied, and he won't work his best and won't give a best result. So when a person is working, he needs to give the HR manager needs to give the adequate and fair remuneration to that person, so that he keeps getting motivated and keeps doing his best continuously. Next is integration. Integration means making the new employees familiar with the organization and to their task or process. It introduces them to the organizational environment and their colleagues. Integration means what? Integration means making new employees familiar with the organization. Means whenever a new person comes in a family of an organization, the HR manager makes sure that a person gets comfortable in the organization, that he knows with whom to communicate, how to communicate, where to communicate, where the help wherever he or she needs help, the help is given to that person, help is received by that person, and the organization adapts to that new person also. Not just the person adapts to the organization, but organization also adapts to that person, and they together give the best output they can. Okay, next is maintenance. The most important of all is retention of the employees, which requires providing them with various benefits and facilities such like provident funds, life insurance, accidental insurance, health insurance, pensions, gratuity, allowances, and taking other health and safety measures. What is maintenance? Whenever we have an capital, whenever we have an asset, we have to give the maintenance to that particular asset. Let's take an example of machinery. Suppose we are producing XYZ thing and we have machinery. So machinery continuously requires oiling, greasing. It continuously requires the changing of the old parts that are going to get old with the time and do not function at its best. Same in case of human resource, but we are not changing human resource. We are giving them safety, we are giving them security, we are giving them right compensation, adequate remuneration, so that they feel safe, they feel secure, and do their best, continuously do their best, and prove continuously useful for an organization. Maintenance is the most important, you can say, work for HR manager, because it is continuous. Once a person is employed, he is maintained continuously in an organization by having a good remuneration, by having some security like provident funds, life insurance, accident insurance, and other safety measures, which help an organization's human resource to work freely without any worries about future or any accidents that will happen with that person in ahead. Okay, so this is all the functions of the human resource. So thank you.